Oh my God, oh my God. I am going to be the pooper here. I am going to be the pooper, and some people are going to say, can't you just give it a rest, Egberto? But I can't. I really can't. Um, Look, this stuff with Branson and going to this billionaire spending money to go to space and charging people $200 to $250,000, likely $500,000 in the next few days to get a ticket to go to space. It is driving me crazy for two reasons. One is there should be no billionaires in the world because nobody has really earned that themselves. They earned it on the back of others. But secondly, instead of reinventing the wheel, how much could have been done for humanity? How much could have been done if we, the people, continue to... Well, I tell you what, let's listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson, and then let's take it on the other side. He first exposes the fraud that this is from a scientific point of view, and I then want to give it both the scientific and socio-economic point of view after this, because I think it is essential that we don't get this is because we have stopped teaching civics, we have stopped teaching critical thinking in school, and then we get all excited with the free advertising that the entire media domain has given a billionaire, where they even cut into news programs to talk about a private system that is repeating what occurred over 50 years ago. Let's talk about it after, but check out Neil deGrasse, then we'll go from there.
Consider, again, I'm coming at this as an astrophysicist. If our atmosphere were half as dense as it is, then that magic height would be only half as high. And if we had 1/10 our atmospheric pressure, it would only be 1/10 as high. If we didn't have atmosphere at all, are we in space walking around on the surface of a planet with no atmosphere? So that's an awkward kind of situation to start defining space to be.
To you, is this space travel?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, so first of all, it's suborbital. NASA did that 60 years ago with Alan Shepard. Okay, right. Launched from Cape Canaveral and landed in the ocean. And if you don't go fast enough to reach orbit, you will fall out and you'll land back on Earth.
We should point out neither Bezos nor Branson will be placed into orbit.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. So there's, did you go high enough? Then did you get into orbit? Did you actually go somewhere? You're going to the moon or Mars or beyond. So SpaceX's concept is we want to send people places, all right, as an effort to push this boundary, but push this space exploration frontier. Now, all that being said, I'm delighted that this could be a new tourist attraction in the world. I have no problems or hesitation celebrating this fact. And it should have been happening decades ago. Decades ago. It should have been 60 years before private enterprise ended up doing what NASA did back in 1961. So more power to all of them.
But is there a gain in knowledge that comes from boldly going to where man has gone many times before?
Yeah, boldly going where hundreds have gone before. I mean, can I invoke this here? Okay, I just found this laying around on the desk.
We're GPS.
Yeah, GPS, good. So this is a typical schoolroom globe, okay? And you want to ask, oh, by the way, how high up does the space station orbit? The space station, authentically a spacefaring vessel. That, if Earth were this size, would be 1 centimeter above the surface.
Wow.
If you poll people and say, where do you think the space station is? They'll stick it out here somewhere. It is 1 centimeter, okay? Now you're going to ask, what happens if you, where is this magic boundary where you start seeing? Well, that would be 2 millimeters above.
Wow.
And now you're going to be sort of less than that. And so it's the thickness of maybe 2 dimes above the surface. And so, okay, you want to call it space because regular people haven't done that before. So there's a novelty to it. Oh, and by the way, just for context, I got this apple here. This is slightly smaller than the size of the moon. So you might ask, well, where's the moon on this scale? The moon is 10 meters away in the next room.
Wow.
So that's why it takes 8 minutes to get to orbit and 3 days to get to the moon. That's actual space travel. Okay, so just for context. So I see it not as, oh, we're going into space. No, you're getting a nice view of the Earth, and I don't even know if you're going to see the curvature. I did some calculations, and I'm thinking they're not. If you're 2 millimeters above the surface of this globe, you're not getting the whole this perspective that everybody hopes. But national boundaries disappear. It's an overview effect that you will get a little bit of even at 50 miles up. So more power to them.
Just a little fact thing here. Dr. Tai's son went to my university as well, University of Texas, for some time. But anyhow, getting back to the real issue here. It is disconcerting to me that, one, these billionaires are replicating what we did back in 1961 with much better technology, but adding no real knowledge to going to space or doing something else. Imagine, we developed the technology. They decided that they're going to use the technology to do something with and make more money on the technology we all created as a collective. The people of the United States paying their tax dollars, and then the people who are going to be able to use that technology are only those that can afford $200,000 to $500,000 to actually use it as a toy. And by the way, what they're giving people is nothing close to what NASA has already accomplished back in 1961. But that's not the entire issue. The entire issue is the gullibility of the American people, the gullibility of all of us. Why do I say that? Because we've interrupted news programs while I'm watching This Week. They break into the program. Branson is going to go ahead and he's going to fly into space. Of course, not really space, but he's going to fly into space. And what's going to happen then? He's going to get free advertising throughout the entire world to support the whims of the billionaire and his shareholders, right? Because now that everybody sees, oh, we can successfully go into quote-unquote space that really isn't space, but we can sell it that way because the national and international media is going to sell it that way. We can make even more money for a few who can be also afforded by the few. Why didn't we go ahead, even if we wanted to license a technology developed by all of us to people like Branson and his crew, why did we make sure that we earned enough of that technology that we developed to move our knowledge further? Remember, Branson and these guys are not moving technology forward. They're just doing the same thing in a different form. They're not teaching us how to better move to space because there's no profit in that. They are working with technology that they know work. Okay? If new technologies are generally developed by us, we the people, we bear the cost of that, and then they capitalize on that cost, and the entire capitalist structure, the entire media system, the entire newspaper system, the entire government system, because as he went up there, you can imagine that the government had to be making sure that there were clearances for him, that there were no interruptions in travel or whatever to protect him. So people, think about it. We've allowed these guys to monopolize on what we've created while we have poverty, while we have all these other things that if they really wanted to be benevolent with the money they earned on our backs, they could do things that were really worthwhile. This is not the envy of the rich at all. This is saying the rich is undeserving because it was gotten on all of us. And the whole system is designed for them. Again, Branson broke into all the news programs, free advertising, giving it credulity. Now more rich people will feel it is okay to spend their money on technology we all developed. Folks, if we don't see that our system is there for us to praise, like, we praise our system while the very few get the real spoils, the real advantage. Some of us get just enough to be comfortable. Some of us get so much that we feel that our comfort is great, but nowhere close to what goes on for the really rich, what goes on for those who pilfer us all, those who go on to ensure that we are less educated. And in that lesser education, they can continue the pilfer. You know, that's what we do here. We're not here to try to soft pedal anything. We're really here to try to tell the truth and explain how things really work and how so often we are made fools of, but we are so unaware that we are not really realizing that we are the ones who generally are the fools. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.